All right, chat. Let me know how the volume is. Volume should be pretty solid. All right, chat. Let me know how the volume. Sound seems pretty good. Maybe it could be a little bit louder, I guess. Uh, Today we have jobless claims, unemployment filings. What's up, Faye, K, Demetrius, Trailer, Smack, Ray, Keegan, Yowzer, Cap, Sam, Ava. Good morning. Oh, I hope you guys are good today. We're here another day. Um, 200 on the AAL. It's at 1230s. Incredible thinker. Yeah, American Airlines out big this morning. We can figure out that news. Bank of America's consumer checkpoint for July credit card and debit card spending per household increased 0.2% year over year in June compared to 0.8% year over year in May. We also had Delta Airlines CEO say consumer pullback is starting to wane, according to CNBC. You can see airline stocks are up pretty significantly this morning. Incredible. Yeah, so Delta Airlines posted quarter two earnings. They posted EPS of 210 versus an estimated 206, revenue of 15.5 billion. They also reinstituted full year EPS guidance of 525 to 625 versus 538 consensus, down from pre-tariff number of 735. The stock surged 10.5% in pre-market on strong demand clarity and travel rebound hopes. Nvidia hit a 4 trillion market cap yesterday. If we take a look at Nvidia here, Nvidia did hit a 4 trillion market cap. It's also sitting pretty close to all-time highs right now. All-time highs are 164.42 that we hit yesterday at the open for Nvidia, which is one of the largest, if not the largest market cap company in the world right now at 4 trillion. The Fed's June meeting minutes suggested rate cuts may come later this year, 70% probability for a September cut. In terms of U.S. tariffs, we're going to go through some flashpoints here. 50% on copper, effective August 1st, 50% on Brazilian imports, plus reciprocal tariffs for 21 countries, raising the average U.S. tariff level to 17.6%. Copper futures surged over 10% pre-market on tariff fears. So what are copper futures? Is it /HG? Here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin at 111,000. Yeah, so HG is copper futures, and you can kind of see how they're gapping up a little bit as of the 8th, Tuesday. Dude, my ear itches really bad this morning. I don't know why my ear is itching so bad. But yeah, copper up a little bit. If you look at copper futures. Brazil did kind of slap back though, and they pushed global risk sentiment higher. In terms of mining stocks, there's a plus 2% on Southern Copper gains on copper tariff talks. Kellogg up 50%. WK Kellogg. Today we got weekly jobless claims report. We got the FOMC minutes already showing rate cut debates. 10-year auction demand pulled bond yields lower. In the US and European Union, auto negotiations are advancing despite the tariffs, and positive nearing progress with India was noted. Yeah, we had Delta 210 EPS, 4.5% surprise today. Nothing else really big, but it was sure worth watching. Yeah, I got a new mic. Anybody that didn't watch me yesterday for Fed Minutes, I got a new mic. No more broken mic. I'll put a timer up for jobless claims, though. All right, so yeah, jobless claims unemployment go live at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So they will be live at 8:30 today. Yeah, I don't have to use my hands, man. Our electrician was talking about it when he was running our electric. Said copper roll was $30 to $40 a few years ago, and now it's at $125 a roll. Yeah. Yeah. So look at NVIDIA. Again, NVIDIA up. Airlines up. Delta Airline earnings. Can y'all hear the music in the background? Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Pump the like and subscribe numbers up. Yeah, it's better than the other mic I had for sure. There's also different settings on this mic that I can use. But this one's solid. Brutal. Gold was alright. What's up, Czar? Good. Green mic is bullish. Yeah, like we're gonna do a poll right now, chat. Let's do a poll here. The poll is gonna say, are you bullish or bearish for today's jobless claims report? Bull, bear. And I'm gonna give a couple other options today. I don't know, slash neutral, slash steep results. You can vote on that poll now as well. Yeah, we're back. I don't know what just happened to the stream. I had to connect the Wi-Fi for a second. But we're back. Let me know if you could hear me. It says the stream's still running fine, 0 drop frames. But we're here. Did it go out for long? It should have only gone out. Look at NVIDIA, guys. NVIDIA at 164.30s. Gotta reset the music. We should be good, right? Yeah, we're back. Okay, good. Yeah, we're here. We're at 164.30s. Delta at 57s. Yeah, did you guys have red or green day yesterday? Let me know in chat, red or green day. I'll put a timer up right now. Really, we got about an hour. What the heck? All right, guys. Here's a timer to the report right here. A little bit early, but that's all right. Super green day yesterday. Green. I was green in almost everything, to be honest, yesterday. And I think today's an interesting day with Nvidia retesting all-time highs. It's up there at 164.30s right now. I think it's a good day for that to happen. Both. I'm right at 250 today already. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, Delta up big, copper prices rising, Nvidia rising. Here's the NASDAQ here. NASDAQ's very close to all-time highs. Previous all-time high was 23.1, basically. Now new all-time high is 23.112. We're at 23.55 right now, so we still got a little ways. We have pulled back pretty decently from all-time highs in the NQ if you look at the back, if you look at the left side of the screen. But yeah, we should be okay. It's not dropping the stream. It might be lagging a little bit. That's just weird. It might have to do with like my Ethernet port or something like that. But we should be good, honestly. Like, there shouldn't be any lag. The zero drop frames. Here, let me see. Lower the bit rate a little bit, see if that helps. But it should be fine. I don't know why. There we go. Yeah, we should be good. Let me know. Looks fine here. Good. Yeah, look at the NASDAQ pump here, though, chat. It's interesting. Yeah, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Again, today we do have jobless claims unemployment in less than an hour. So. Hey, what's up, Beach Bum? Good morning. I'm just ready to go home. I'll be home soon. Next Monday. By the time Monday of next week hits, we'll be home. And I'm ready. I'm ready to be back home in my studio. I don't feel comfortable at these highs. I mean, I think we're going to hold. I tend to think we're going to be fine here. But who knows, man. A lot of stuff. The market depends on a lot of different things right now. Like a lot of different things. So. Yeah, we're at 23.6 right now, 23.6. Delta at 57s. Ford and Coles. Yeah. Yeah, and again, the big news, Delta Airlines posted an EPS of 210 versus estimated 206. That's what's gapping up. If you look at most airline stocks, they're up big. They reinstituted their full year EPS guidance of 525 to 625 versus 538, down from pre-tariff 735. The stock surged over 10%. Nvidia hit a 4 trillion market cap. Crazy. June meeting maybe a little bit more dovish for the meeting minutes. The minutes report yesterday, a little bit more dovish. 70% likelihood of September cut. If we take a look at rate cut odds here as well, and we can move over these rates and look at rate cut odds. We're at 6.7% likelihood of a July cut. I'm going to refresh this fast just to make sure. Yeah, 6.7%, just about 7% likelihood of a July cut, which again, I don't think is going to happen. The only way this is going to happen is if we get super low CPI inflation data, and even then I still don't think it's going to happen. Do you guys think we'll get a cut in July? I don't think so, personally, but it's possible. I mean, you never freaking know what they're going to do, but at this point it's a 7% likelihood, roughly a 93% likelihood that we're going to pause. So we'll see. Interesting market for sure. If we take a look at bond yields this morning, here's bond yields. And bond yields are under 4.4% again. They are down a little bit as of yesterday. Yesterday they decreased from the Fed minutes report, I'm assuming. Here the Fed minutes report came out way over here. Right about here, I guess. And you can kind of see the slight decline from this. So bond yields currently at 4.34%, showing a lower interest rate sentiment. Yeah, a lot of trade talks are in focus. So Dow futures are down 0.15%, S&P's down almost 0.1%, Nasdaq's basically flat. WK Kellogg is up on a report of a $3 billion takeover deal with Ferrero, and initial jobless claims data drops at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Airline stocks are up after Delta's upbeat forecast. It's what's driving markets. President announced on Wednesday a new 50% tariff on copper to start August 1st and threatened a 50% tariff on exports to the U.S. from Brazil. Again, if you look at the left side, NASDAQ and stuff has been testing all-time highs, but we do have some copper spikes over the last week. NASDAQ notched a record close, propelled by Nvidia mostly. 4 trillion valuation. First time in history, making it the first company ever to hit 4 trillion. So first time in history for Nvidia. If we take a look at Nvidia here. Again, Nvidia's got an easy chance to break all-time highs today. If Nvidia likes this data at all-time highs on Nvidia are literally right here. It's at, basically, Nvidia's at 164.30. All-time highs on Nvidia are 164.42. So we are 12 cents away from all-time highs on Nvidia as of now. And this could certainly change. Certainly change. We'll see. Yeah, 4.3% is pretty high, but they're down a little bit from yesterday's meeting. I'm not saying 4.3% is low. What I'm saying is 4.3% is lower than it was yesterday. Yesterday it popped back up to 4.4% for a little while. I think it was yesterday at the opening bell. 50% tariff on copper could increase inflation, certainly, man. Yeah. Roku? What's Roku doing? I see more and more talking about a July cut, so it's possible that it was a few weeks ago, in my opinion. Yeah, you're right. It's possible. If Elon gets his stuff together, it would be green. CT says all good on my end. Yeah. Yeah, I think a 50% copper will increase inflation. I mean, I think we use copper for everything. I think it's bad. But, you know, I'm not going to get too into it, but I think if the president wants a rate cut, he should not be yelling for big copper tariffs. That's going to make our prices much worse. You know? Now, whether it's small or what, you know, I don't know. We'll see. Where's the double top? The double top of what? On Nvidia? You think it's going to create a double top here? It's possible it does. We'll see. It might. Nasdaq at 23,063. Yeah, so Delta up on earnings. Roku up a little bit this morning as well. $100, that big level for Roku. I think if we can get over $100, it's good. It's got to get up there though. It's got to get over 100. So yeah, it's got to get over that $100 spot. It's possible if it does. Nvidia, again, getting very, very close to all-time highs this morning. But Nvidia, it's not going to register it until the opening bell for Nvidia, I think. Yeah, AMD also raised to a buy rating from hold from HSBC Bank. It's up to 141.07 here, 141.07. OPEC Plus is reportedly discussing pausing output hike from October, according to delegates cited by Bloomberg. And Portugal Prime Minister says government relaunches privatization of flag carrier TAP. Conagra Brands, CAG stock, posted adjusted EPS of 56 cents versus 58 cents. Expected revenue of 2.8 billion versus 2.83 billion expected, a little bit under expected numbers. ABBV announces exclusive global licensing agreement for ISB 2001. Glenmark Pharma will receive an upfront 700 million payment and is eligible to receive up to 1.225 billion. We also said Delta Airlines CEO says consumer pullback is starting to wane versus CNBC. I hate it when they phrase it like that. Like the consumer pullback is starting to wane. So you have to be like, okay, not that the consumer is starting to wane, but the pullback from the consumer is starting to wane. Why don't you just say the consumer, you know, consumer buying is getting stronger, consumer interest is getting stronger? Why don't I just say that? Why do you have to say the pullback is starting to wane? That's way too confusing. Just say it normally. Anyways. Yeah, AMD should help Nvidia. You see AMD up to 141s right now. AMD all-time highs way up here at 180s, so it's not really close to it, but it is bouncing with Nvidia. If you look at a daily chart on both of these, you know, here's Nvidia, here's AMD. They're both running. Nvidia running a little bit more than AMD, but this news should help AMD too. I mean, you can see how much AMD is up. If I put a 5-minute chart on both of these, I would say AMD's trend's a little bit stronger. The only difference is like Nvidia ran yesterday. AMD did not as much. It ran a little bit, but not as much. Oracle raised to overweight from neutral from Piper Sandler. Right, that's a better way to say it, Sam. I agree. I don't know why they're saying it like they did. Hey, hit the like button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it. We got 45 minutes before jobless claims unemployment, a little bit over that. What's up, Shy? What's up, brother? All right, so MP Materials was awarded a new Department of Defense partnership, a public-private tie-up to enhance U.S. rare earth magnet manufacturing, aiming to reduce resilience on China. The project includes building a second U.S. magnet plant, the 10X facility, by 2028 in its Mountain Pass, California site, and shares jumped up over 30% in pre-market on this initiative. So look at NASDAQ get up to almost 2370. NVIDIA technically breaking the all-time high just now. If you count pre-market, NVIDIA technically broke the all-time high. It's now up to 164.45 for NVIDIA. Look at NVIDIA in the middle chart here, 164.45. AMD broke highs of the day as well, up to 141.15 here. So Powerful movement coming through. Look at markets run. Honestly, it's a crazy day. Hey, what's up, Aaron? The trader can't. I'll settle for a flush to 2300 first. And what? Oh, and the nasdaq. Yeah, I gotta draw some levels on this chart here. Hold on. I'm gonna try to draw some levels right now. Let me put some levels up. I mean, I think I already have some levels on my chart here too, but look. Flat, chill, and happy. Hey, good luck, bro. Yeah, let's watch 2375. I think 2375 is going to be a big spot here. Everything's pushing up this morning, though. Look at it. Thanks for the levels. I'm waiting for 23.4. But looked like that rocket took off today. Hims bullish or bearish? Yeah, I heard about Hims yesterday. Hims got up to over 50 yesterday. It's back over 51 right now. If you look at a 30-minute chart, I think actually you probably got to look at a little bit longer. You can look at a 1 hour chart. You can see it had this big drop on Hims from 65 all the way down to like 40. It's all the way back up to 51s right now, though. And look at the NASDAQ rip. NASDAQ up to 23,070. So there's 2375. Look at that. We tapped it. Nvidia's still pushing. If we got a pullback to maybe, I might buy 2350 here on the NASDAQ, like 23,050 right here. But I need a dip. Yeah, I know. I remember they lost the contract with Eli Lilly, and so that's what ultimately caused like the big drop. If you pull this chart up here and you look at this big drop right here, that's what Eli Lilly, they lost that deal with them. But look at that rejection right at 2375. We gotta watch Nvidia here though, I think. All right, so there were several trade-related developments yesterday. So far, the only agreements that have been finalized with a few countries, the UK, Vietnam, and a prelim deal with China. Ongoing negotiations are still underway, including Japan, South Korea, Canada, Europe, Taiwan, but no formal deals were concluded yesterday. Now, tariff letters were issued. He sent reciprocal tariff letters to about 22 countries, warning of tariffs between 20 to 50% effective August 1st unless deals are reached. The deadline for finalizing trade deals was extended from July 9th to August 1st, giving governments time to respond before new tariffs kick in. Now, there's a UK deal already in place. There's a prelim deal with China. Reduction of tariffs paused 30%. Vietnam, a deal was finalized as well. In Europe, nearing a bare bones agreement to avoid tariffs to be concluded potentially this month. They're still negotiating under a tariff threat, though, with India, Japan, and South Korea. So that's what's going on with tariffs right now. No, you know, we got a couple deals done, but 20 days, 21 days left before August 1st. That's a big time. We'll see what happens. Yeah, the U.S. strategically extended the tariff negotiation to August 1st. And then he said he's not going to push it back anymore. And so we'll see if he follows through with that. You know, not saying he will or won't. I don't know. But we'll see. All right, so we tapped that 2337 level again, or 75 level again. %60 say bullish. That's wild. Yeah, but nobody knows. It's pretty much split down the middle, Bo. But nobody knows. But I see about 500% of. I mean, I'm looking into it. But testing that 75 level, you can see how well that level. All right, so there's a proposed secondary tariff bill aimed at weakening Russia's access to revenue-supporting countries. The Act of 2025, introduced by Lindsey Graham, backed by 80+ senators, would impose a 500% U.S. tariff on imports from countries that continue buying Russia oil, gas, and uranium or petrochemicals like India and China. The president has signaled strong interest. He said, "I'm looking at the Russia sanctions bill very closely. I'm looking at it very strongly." It also authorizes a one-time 180-day presidential waiver with options for a second waiver under certain conditions. So that's not one that's been approved yet. That's just a bill that they have right now that they're trying to get approved. All right, look at the NASDAQ and NVIDIA both run. NVIDIA now up to 164.45. 164.45. Yeah, we got 40 minutes before Jobless claims unemployment, chat. 40 minutes. Is it really that much delayed? I know it's 1 minute behind. Hit the live button next to the play button as well. Let me, I gotta kind of pull this up. I mean, we don't have any delay. It's only about a minute behind, but you know, usually what I do, guys, when I set a timer is I set it a minute behind, because I don't want the timer going off and interrupting me digesting the data, if that makes sense, right? Like, I don't want the timer digesting the data. So the timer is actually a little bit early. If you're 3 minutes behind, hit the live button next to the play button, brother. Put it in 2x speed. You'll catch up. Yeah. I appreciate you letting me know, though. It's all good. Yeah, where is Nike at right now? Look at the NASDAQ finally. It tested that 75 level for a while. Nike, I mean, it's better than it was, you know, down here at the end of June. Got all the way up to almost $80 a share, probably on the Vietnam deal. Now it's back down to 73. I bet we could look up when the Vietnam deal announced, and it's gonna be right around. It's gonna be right around when this spike happened. I bet, right here, July 2nd. So it was right here, and then we spiked up to almost 80. CBS News confirmed the Vietnam deal announcement Wednesday, July 2nd, ahead of the July 9th deadline. So, yeah, NVIDIA. Again, another big story of the day. I've said it many times. Airline stocks, guys. Airline stocks. Delta specifically had earnings today that were better than expected. Delta's gapping up pretty significantly. $7 a share in a $50 stock. So, yeah, this is over 10% gap up for Delta. And look at that 75 level hold. Okay, so the 75 level still holding. $75 level still holding. Yeah, Nike earnings. That's possible. AR. I mean, this might be breaking out on a longer time frame arc. But a short-term time frame, it doesn't really have that much liquidity here. It had some yesterday. It is moving up a little bit this morning, but I wouldn't say this is a breakout. There's no volume. There's no liquidity here, unfortunately. I mean, it still looks good though. I mean, I'm not an investment professional. I have no idea what it's going to do in the future. Could crash tomorrow, might run tomorrow. No idea. But it looks okay. I mean, this looks strong. And it's up a little bit in pre. Yeah, so jobless claims unemployment filings today, guys. They are expected today. Market watch up. Yeah, we got jobless claims unemployment filings. They are expected at 235,000 this morning. I'll put this up on screen too. 235K. There you go. I put the expected number on jobless claims at the bottom now. It's expected at 235,000. 235K. This is not non-farm payrolls. This is jobless claims unemployment. All right, still testing 75 here. NVIDIA got up to 164.50 even. And you can kind of see how, like, one of the nuances we talk about here a lot is that half whole dollars, quarter dollars, and half hundreds, you know, stuff like that, they're relevant, they're milestone. If you look at NVIDIA here, where does it stop exactly? 164.50, exactly 164.50. And so this is not just the NASDAQ that behaves this way. This is every major security. You know, I would say the higher the price, the bigger levels you need. So like once you get up to the NASDAQ, instead of being 75 and 50, sometimes it can be like 150, you know, 175, 200, 250, 275. If it gets up higher than that, you know, sometimes it's just 100 levels. But the point remains, those main milestone levels, half dollar, whole dollars, they just make sense and people pay attention to them. So let me know what the volume level is today. The volume's supposed to be pretty solid, but let me know. What's going on with the Autodesk? It's down 3%. I'm not sure. I have to look. I want to know how Burry sold everything when the president took. Very smart. Yeah, very smart. He knows. I mean, he overpredicts crashes with certainty, you know. But yeah, like Burry wildly overpredicts crashes, but you know, he's still pretty solid. Low volume here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can turn it up like this and put it a little bit closer to me, and this should work really well. Nvidia's still pushing higher, and again, the big story of the day, we can break through everything again here. Jobless claims unemployment filings is one of the more important weekly reports that we get here. The reason it's important is because it's a more up-to-date look at unemployment. Like, we can look at the unemployment rate, we can look at GDP, we can look at all that different stuff. If you want to look a more recent look at the labor market, you look at jobless claims, right? Because jobless claims are week-to-week unemployment filings. It's how many people are filing for unemployment week to week. And so because of that, it's a little bit more relevant for the current market, for the current economy, for what's going on right now. And that's why we cover this every week, is because this is actually a pretty important report, and it's relevant. We got to, you know, it's important here. So, and again, the big stories of the day, futures are down slightly, but I think they might be back up now with Nvidia rising a little bit in pre-market. Nvidia now has a $4 trillion valuation. $4 trillion for Nvidia. President announced yesterday a new 50% tariff on copper starting August 1st. So copper stuff starting to rise. He also issued tariff notices to 7 minor trading partners. Again, Delta Airlines had good EPS and revenue, and they're gapping up this morning from earnings here. Look at Delta rise. So Delta's rising, Nvidia's rising. AMD was upgraded by HSBC Bank. And U.S. listed shares of Brazilian firms fell in pre-market. Petrobras down 1.2%, and some other ones. Several countries are still waiting for the official word from the White House as investors monitor the evolving trade negotiations. Hopes are high for a breakthrough with India, with the president and top officials hinting at a deal. But we'll see if that actually happens. But they're looking at getting an India deal done, is what I'm showing here. Again, Nvidia is the first company in the world to hit a $4 trillion market cap. So we'll see what happens now. Rate cuts for July are up to 67% likelihood. And you can look at a quote from Elias Haddad, which is senior market strategist at Brown Brothers Harriman. He said, quote, "The resilient U.S. economic backdrop gives the Fed time to study the effects of tariff increases on prices and growth before resuming interest rate reductions," end quote. Do you guys agree with him? I don't know. Delta Airline up over 10%. After forecasting third quarter and full year profits above estimates. UAL rose 7% on sympathy. AAL rose 6%. And that's basically where we are right now in markets. Nvidia still up around highs, very close to highs. Nasdaq starting to come back down. Still got 30 minutes here, chat. 30 minutes. Yeah, we got jobless claims, unemployment filings. Big report today, Chad. Big report. Just be ready. People laid off this year may not be able to make a claim for 6 to 12 months. 600 layoff from NAOO due to government cuts, and then yet they claim 150,000 jobs created. Where, who, what sector? Feds will always be late, but they're supposed to keep rates within a point of inflation, but they don't believe in inflation, so what you gonna do? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it goes. Hey, thank you, Beach Bum. Jobless claims are still very lagging in that you can't make claims until severance packages run out up to a year lag. Yeah, no, for sure. All right, we're at 23,062 here. I wanted to pull back to 23.5. I might have taken a 23.5 pullback. All right, so we're at 23,060 right now, 2360. All right, guys. So again, we're starting to see a rebound back up here. We're still watching for Nvidia. Nvidia very close, 164.50, the new high for Nvidia, 164.50. Delta still pushing. AMD upgraded, getting very close here. And yeah. Yeah, you're good, brother. Fed's always late, but they're supposed to keep rates within a point. Are all the reports coming out this morning? Anything this afternoon? I don't think we have anything this evening. You got Alberto, St. Louis Fed president speech at 10 a.m. And then you got Mary Daly, which is the San Francisco Fed president speech at 2:30 today. But they're not really hyper relevant for markets, I don't think. They're not really going to move markets. I don't think they're super influential over markets right now. So I think you're good. I think the main report we got coming out today is the jobless claims unemployment report going live in 25 minutes. Yeah, I hear a lot of people talking about SoFi. SoFi over 20. From 15 to 20. So SoFi looks good. Yeah. All right, we're at 23,060 here. 164.30s. Would 2360 not be a level? Where do you see confirmation in 2360? I mean, I guess you got one right here. You can always find a level though, like, yeah, I mean, it may be. I don't know. It's possible. It could be. And it looks like we're bouncing off of it at least a little bit, so you might be right. X, you could be right. Hey, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button here on this channel. I don't know if we're in sub-only mode or not, but let me do that right now. Okay, yeah, we are in sub-only now. All right, cool. Killing it. Tesla put spreads at 260 to 265 various expiries. Hopefully the market doesn't turn. 20s and 80s. Yeah. Yeah, it's had a really nice run. Look at the 15 all the way to 20 here. If we put up a longer term chart, it's run from $8 back in March or April. Nvidia's kind of chopping sideways though this morning, which is not really a shock. I mean, I'm not really super surprised to see Nvidia chop sideways. What's up, Rhombus? All right, guys, we got 20 minutes. 20 minutes before jobless claims unemployment filings drop. Hey, John, the economic calendar is also saying the 30-year bond auction is later today at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Should we be concerned at all? This does kind of sound like James Bond music, Yowzer. As for the bond auction, it's possible to move markets for sure. I would just watch the market at that point in time. It certainly could move markets. Like the 30-year bond auction certainly could influence things. I would be careful. Yeah, I'd be careful. So the 30-year bond auction could certainly move things. We don't know for sure, but it could. What's your expectation for what, Pedro? What's the projection for jobless claims unemployment? It's 235. Yeah, 235,000 jobless claims. Initial claims is what they projected. 235K initial. And again, look at AMD up here, man. AMD upgraded by HSBC Bank. Yeah, it's 235K. You can see it if you look at the bottom of the screen right here at the white letters. You can see expected at 235K. No, you're good. It's good to know. Do you guys think we come in under or over it? I asked people if they're bullish or bearish on these jobless claims. 58% said they're bullish. 14% said bearish. 28% said neutral. So most people are neutral. Or no, most people are bullish on this jobless claims report, which is interesting. Should I turn the volume up a little bit? I think I should turn it up maybe slightly here. All right, so I turned the volume up a little bit. Let me know if that's better. It should be a little bit better, maybe. This should be the perfect volume, but who knows? Yeah, I mean, AMD riding up with AI hype. If you believe in AI, I mean, AMD's only going to benefit from it. You know, with AI, people are going to need stronger and stronger computers and all that stuff. And so I think, yeah. There you go. That should be pretty good, but I can always turn it up more if you need me to. Good data equals heavy shorts, less likelihood of rate cuts, bearish close. Well, what do you mean good data? Good data means lower than expected jobless claims, which does mean less likelihood for rate cuts, which could push to all-time highs. Yeah, turn up. Okay, I can turn it up a little bit. All right, I'm turning the volume up. You might have to turn me down now if you had it up all the way. Okay, so this should actually be pretty solid. I'm right on, like, this should be perfect. Yeah, last jobless claims report showed up. The last jobless claims report showed up at 233. Today they're expected 235 to 236. So the last report showed up in the 230s. This one's expected in the 230s as well. We got Waller speaking today, daily speaking today, 30-year bond auction at 1 o'clock. We got the Fed's balance sheet update at 4:30. And that's it. And then tomorrow's kind of boring. Earnings season's almost here too. I don't know why they're doing it so slow. Like maybe earnings season has it busy, but the week of July 21st is slow. I don't know why. And then the week of the 28th during the Fed meeting and all that stuff, we got like jolts, CB consumer confidence data, we got Case-Shiller house price index, we got ADP non-farm employment, GDP data, Fed rate decision, all coming out on the 30th. Weird. Is July 31st a holiday? Oh, I know why they're doing this. Because August 1st, Friday, August 1st is Labor Day. And markets are closed Labor Day, and I'm guessing they're not going to have data. Nvidia just broke highs again. We're at 164.59s. 164.59s right now, chat. 15 minutes here. Is Jackson Hole Symposium relevant to the NASDAQ? Yes. Jackson Hole Symposium is a pretty big mover of markets. When is that? August 21st to the 23rd. Yeah, so it's going to be held late August. The theme this year for the Jackson Hole Symposium is labor markets and transition, demographics, productivity, and macroeconomic policy. So, but yeah, it's going to be relevant. I don't know how relevant. I don't know how much it's going to move markets, but it'll move markets at least a little bit. All right, so look at Nvidia, guys, churning up to, or AMD churning up to 142. Nvidia getting up here to 164.59, but just recently pulled back some here. And again, we got 14 minutes here, chat. 14 minutes. Timer's a little bit early, but oh, what's August 1st? I'm hoping they just haven't scheduled it in time. Like, I'm looking a few weeks ahead, so, but did we get PCE that came out this week already? I don't know. Or this month already? Did PCE come out this month? All right, guys, we're at 2360 here, 2360. Again, if we dip down to 2350, I might buy this dip. But we're getting pretty close to this report. What do you think is going to happen when the data pump and dump? I have no idea. Nobody knows how the market's going to respond. I cover all this big data releases. Nobody freaking knows how the market's going to respond, what it means, what it looks like. Nobody knows what what it's going to show. All right, we're at 2360. 2360. NASDAQ and honestly, a lot of these microchip stocks that have been moving the market pretty heavily this morning are kind of choppy. I mean, they just broke out a little bit, but the NASDAQ's coming back down. Down to under 2350. Or down testing 2350. And again, if we weren't so close to jobless claims, I might buy this pullback. I just don't know what the markets are going to do today. But if we weren't so close to it, I'd buy this dip. That's the NASDAQ futures contract. AI. It's the NASDAQ futures contract. All right, AMD up to almost 142s here. Again, the NASDAQ up to 23,060. NVIDIA at 164s. AMD still heading up here, though. Look at AMD. It's up to almost 142s. Look at the run in pre-market. Upgrade by HSBC Bank. I've said it a couple times. Well, we got almost 1,000 here already. Still got about 11 minutes to go. So. NVIDIA at 165s. We're at 23,060. NVIDIA right at highs at the day. NVIDIA is exactly at the highs of the day right now, ahead of this report. Exactly at the highs of the day. Just pulled back. There's now a double top at 164.59 for NVIDIA. AMD running up. It's over 142s as we speak here. And again, we got about 10 minutes left. 10 minutes. AMD at 142.20s. Be ready here. Finally, some 8:30 a.m. news. Yeah, it's been slow, Chuck. There hasn't been anything, man. It's been really boring this week. Next week, we have CPI, PPI, retail sales, and more. So next week's incredibly busy, which is good because I'm actually going to be back home. I guess I would rather the slow week be now. Although last Friday, we did have non-farm payrolls. Dude, I'm itchy this morning, man. Like, my neck is itching. Like, my ear itched this morning. Yeah, we had earnings next week, too. So it's going to be a really busy week next week. Yeah. All right, chat. 9 minutes. A little bit less than that, actually. But gotta buy back my put spreads before CPI. Yeah. Maybe. Good luck. Again, NVIDIA is sitting exactly at the lifetime high. 164.59. Testing it for the last 3 minutes, and really it hasn't done much. It's trying to get over it, though. So, like, look, here's the level right here. And it keeps trying to break. But it's struggling to. It's not really getting over it. NASDAQ with that is choppy. And if we get some complementary data, maybe I'll buy 2350 down here. Who knows? I don't know what complementary data is in the market right now, to be honest, because I don't know what the market wants. I don't know if the market wants good data, bad data, upward data, lower data. I genuinely don't know what the market wants. Yeah, I'm at my mother-in-law's house right now, and this is about as closest to a mom's basement that I'm gonna get. I'm in my mother-in-law's house. It's an old house. It's like 100 years old. And so, but dude, my nose is stopped up. I'm itchy. I feel like I almost might have allergies, and I'm not really allergic to anything. But, all right, guys, here we go. Gold. I'm gonna put gold up. Here's gold on the top right. I'm gonna put maybe NVIDIA in the SPY, see what these do. But it's time. Market's not really acting random. It's just testing all-time highs. That's what it's been doing. NVIDIA's been testing all-time highs. NASDAQ broke all-time highs yesterday. It pulled back a little bit this morning. I mean, these are pretty common movement patterns. You test all-time highs, you pull back. Sometimes you make a run back up and retest it. Sometimes you don't. And you start to dip. You know. But at the same time, like, sometimes the market is random. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the Midwest right now. Yeah, like something's itchy on my neck. I don't know what it is. I've been showering every day here, but strange. All right, anyways, we're almost to that 2350 level in the NASDAQ. Gold at 33.30. Nvidia at all-time highs right now. But let's watch 2350, see if we get a bounce there. All right, you guys ready for jobless claims? Give me your last-minute prediction. Do you guys think it'll come in higher or lower than expected here? Higher or lower? No, it's not strange to shower every day. It's strange that I'm itching so much right now when I've been showering like I'm supposed to, you know. Lower. Lower. I predict whatever I say is wrong. Fair. Lower. All right, so look, we're testing 2350 right now, right before jobless claims unemployment at 5 minutes. I hope not spiritual. That would be terrible. Higher, higher. Neutral. All right, NASDAQ's breaking down here. Let me see if we got any breaking news. All right, so Moderna receives full U.S. FDA approval. Brazilian government is going to form a study group to decide the reaction to the U.S.'s tariffs, according to the Chief of Staff's office. So again, the Brazilian government is going to form a study group to decide the reaction, how they should react to the U.S. tariffs. That dropped about 2 minutes ago. That might be causing some of this red action here. We also have the U.S. Secretary of State Rubio, Commerce Secretary Ludnick is going to go to Japan next week to try to get a deal done. We also had some Microsoft news. ACN, which is Accenture, and Microsoft are expanding their collaboration on the next-gen powered software. So, all right, guys, be ready. We got 4 minutes, less than 4 minutes, really. It's Thursday. Jobless claims expected at 236K. $236,000 expected, 235 to 236. We got 3 minutes exactly here, chat. 3 minutes. I use a bunch of different sources, to be honest. What outcome is good? Well, so a lower jobless claims print will mean less people are filing for unemployment week to week. So lower jobless claims means less people filing for unemployment week to week. That's number one. But it also means less need of a cut, less need for rate cuts. Because if we have a stronger labor market, the Fed's going to argue we don't need rate cuts as much. A higher print, and I think the market wants rate cuts. And so I think it's really nuanced. A higher print will mean a weaker labor market. It means more people filing for unemployment week to week, right? But it also will mean more justification in cuts and maybe earlier cuts, depending on what the rest of the data shows. Yeah, I mean, even if we had 500K, I doubt we're going to cut tomorrow. We'd probably just cut in July if the rest of the month had bad data too. So the point is, it's nuanced. Right, exactly, Mike. And if claims come in higher, we should see yields. If claims come in higher, we should see yields do stuff. All right, guys, we got a couple minutes left. Really, we got about a minute and a half left. Minute and 10 seconds. So, U.S. debt is all-time highs. Yeah, this timer's early, chat. So this timer's early. I'm going to pause this. Timer's definitely early. So we're just gonna wait. Again, we got about a minute left right now, about 1 minute. Yeah, we can put gold. Maybe we'll put 3 charts up. We'll put gold, Nvidia, and Bitcoin to see what they do, because I'm curious to see what Bitcoin does here as well, to be honest. All right, we're at 111,000 for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's pretty close to all-time highs too. 112, all-time highs on futures. It's at 111s. So, all right, guys. Very soon. They're coming out very soon. All right, guys, here we go. About 5 seconds. Make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed so you can catch up fast. But here's the report right now. All right, guys, jobless claims. All right, guys, jobless claims ended up showing 227, lower than expected jobless claims, 1.965 million versus 1.98 million expected. Lower claims everywhere than expected. Again, jobless claims lower than expected at 227,000 versus 236K expected. So jobless claims, 227K versus 236K. Expected previously was 233K. Initial claims showed, again, just to reiterate this, initial claims or continuing claims showed 1.965 million versus 1.98 million expected. Yeah, I think it's 1.98 million expected. Yeah. Okay. So bullish for economy and labor market, bearish for rate cuts. Yeah. So again, we'll see what happens here. What do you guys think about this report? What do you guys think about this report? The NASDAQ and markets have liked this report a lot. They are up big. Bad news is good news, and good news is good news. Well, no, this means that there's... Okay, so just to put this into perspective, guys, this means we have less of a need to cut rates because the labor market is stronger than expected in this context, right? It's just a week-to-week filing report, so it doesn't mean too much. But essentially, it means the labor market was stronger than expected, that less people than expected filed for unemployment week to week, as well as less than last time filed for unemployment week to week. So less than last time and less than expected filed for unemployment week to week, right? So that's essentially what this report showed. And you got to think, in the Fed's mind, in order to cut rates, you need weak labor market. And this shows a strong labor market. So this is bearish on rate cuts, bullish on the economy is what this means, basically. We'll put this data up on screen. There you go. Again, bearish on rate cuts, bullish on the economy. That's what this data shows. The NASDAQ coming right back down. They're still testing 23 or 2350. Nvidia fell down too. Gold, a little bit underwhelming reaction here. Bitcoin dipping down some. Not the biggest report, but something. After yesterday's minutes, this is bearish. Yeah, yesterday's minutes showed a little bit more need to cut rates. So... yeah. Yeah, I'm catching back up on the chat here. Do you guys like or dislike this report? put like or dislike in the chat, and then maybe explain why if it's a controversial take. Let me know. Do you guys like or dislike this report? Dislike, needs liquidity to pump more. Like, dislike, I want rate cuts. Like, president will still throw a fit. Maybe. It's meaningless. This will be massively adjusted later. It might. Rate cuts, like the report, I would like to see the American people back to work. Like it. Yeah. Long term doesn't matter, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, Cato, I appreciate the apology, brother. What I will say is, like, if a majority of your comments are critical, you're just gonna get banned out of here, man. You know, I appreciate the apology, but just, you know, it's all good. I'm pretty forgiving, honestly, but just don't make everything critical, brother. You know, you can contribute to the chat. It's good. You know, the market, I think, wants to pull back under 6,200 to rebalance. Gold very underwhelming. Gold didn't really move much at all. I'm watching NVIDIA. I want to see if NVIDIA starts pushing up to test highs. Strong economy in this environment means hyperinflation, then stagflation, and ultimately depression. Maybe. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't think a strong economy is the worst. I think it depends. I don't want to see economic stimulus is what I don't want to see. Like, I don't want to see economic stimulus. That's what I want to avoid. I don't want economic stimulus. I want no economic stimulus. Maybe we can lower rates, but I don't want to stimulate things with quantitative easing or anything like that, or more desperate measures. I would rather just chill. We can reduce rates slowly. We can continue quantitative tightening if they want to balance it. They continue QT, cut interest rates, but continue QT for balance. I'd be okay with that. Hey, thank you, Marino Fraser. Greetings from the Netherlands. Have a great day. You as well. Dislike because they put too much merit in those, and I feel they should do more surveying the actual people and situations to keep when you rate cut. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, to a certain extent. And the market consistently goes up without rate cuts. I feel once we do start cutting rates, markets will start to fall long term. I think that the initial decision to cut rates might influence the market, but I don't necessarily think that cutting rates is going to make the market go down for a few different reasons. Number one, the market and the economy are two wildly different things, right? So the market and the economy are two completely different things. The market can run while the economy is weak and vice versa. If anything, inflation might drive stock prices higher, not lower. Like, the market might fear inflation, but inflation in general can make stocks and markets go up, not down. And so cutting rates, I think, is what the market wants. And I don't know if it's going to influence the market in any big way. I think initially when we cut rates, especially like if we decided to cut in July and it shocked the market, that might cause the market to go up initially. But it doesn't mean it's just going to run and run and run and run. I don't know. But I appreciate the donation. Either way, I appreciate it. Yeah, so unemployment claims are cooling. Yeah, we can actually take a look at the All right. Look at the NASDAQ come all the way back down. Let's watch that 23.25 level. Yeah, so 233,000 last time. They came in at 227 this time. And I think last week they came in lower than the previous week as well. All right, guys, so the NASDAQ's coming back up, but we're now under the 200 exponential here. Yeah, so we just got this report. It says in the week ending July 5th, the advanced figure for seasonally adjusted initial claims was 227, a decrease of 5,000 from the previous week's revised down by 1,000 from 233 to 232. The 4-week moving average was 235, a decrease of 57.50 from the previous week. The advanced seasonally adjusted and insured unemployment rate 1.3% for the week ending July 28th, unchanged from the previous week's unrevised rate. The advanced number for seasonally adjusted and insured unemployment during the week ending June 28th was 1.965, an increase of 10K from the previous week. The highest insured unemployment rates in the week ending June 21st were Puerto Rico, Minnesota, New Jersey, California, Rhode Island, Washington, District of Columbia, Massachusetts, Oregon, and Pennsylvania. The largest increases in initial claims for the week ending June 28th were New Jersey, New York, Illinois, Michigan, and Rhode Island. The largest decreases Pennsylvania, Cali, Connecticut, Minnesota, Wisconsin. So, again, let's see if we reject this 2350 level. I might try to day trade this here. Hold on one second. Let me try to pull this up. And again, we are trading on Top Steps funded account program right now. So we are trading on Top Steps funded account program. All right. See if we can get a little rejection here. I'm gonna short this. Take 2 micros here, see if we break down. The only problem is that Nvidia is close to all-time highs, so I do have to cut it pretty close if it doesn't work. Like, we get over 50, I'm out, I think. All right, look at gold start to go down. So gold is actually fading down a little bit. It's at 33.31 here. And again, I'm trading on Top Steps funded account program today. So if you want to join me, I'll put the link up in the chat. Great way to learn how to day trade when most day traders lose money. And so you can limit your risk instead of funding your own account thousands and probably losing it like most new traders end up doing. Instead, you could try this. They give you a 50K demo, 100K demo, 150K demo. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose what you pay for it. The base one's $50 a month. It's not the end of the world if you fail it. If you pass it, you get a 50K funded account. You get to keep your first 10K prior to the split kicking in, and then 90% split afterwards. So it's very similar to funding your own account in that context. The risk noticeably less. They pay out hundreds of millions, fund thousands. Zero commission on TopStepX, their native platform. And it's the best of both worlds. Limited risk, similar reward. Learning in this environment makes sense as well because new traders lose money. So learning with less risk, makes sense. And in the futures market, There's no PDT rule. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, gold. Patterns are incredibly similar to blue chip stock patterns. And so if you want to check it out, I'll put the link up. I'm going to take a little bit off of this trade right now, probably. But I'll let this work a little bit. We'll see if we can fall down some. There we go. I'm going to take half off right there. And again, if you want to check it out, I'll put the link up right here. I'll pin it to the top of the chat as well. They're an affiliate of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money, just to clarify. But genuinely useful for traders. Alright. Nice. I'm going to cut this right here. Get out. Attack kind of that breakdown of the 200 exponential here. I'm going to have to go get some coffee in a minute. Yeah, Top Step X is great. It's fast. Let's see if we pull back down to that 200 exponential. I need some coffee, but I feel like I got stung by something last night, is what I did. I haven't really looked at myself in the mirror yet. But I can't tell. Like, I feel like something got me. All right, so we're testing gold up here at 33.33s. Nvidia's still right close to these highs, though. Like, I'm not super interested in shorting for very long, just because I think Nvidia can very easily push up and start retesting all-time highs, and then we get a surge of momentum on the upside. And so that's just not something that I want to do here. I just do not want to get stuck in an all-time high test for Nvidia while sitting short in the NASDAQ. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. All right, look at this breakdown here. Maybe I should have held my short position too. It's again, what I use to guide me is the levels here. So like, look at 50. So even though we break under 50, I'm like, okay, well, if we break underneath it, I wonder if this is going to turn into resistance. And then it did. That's what I shorted into. It broke down some. But now we keep breaking down. The level I have underneath us now is 23.025. So we'll see if that holds. But Um, that's a good thing. Yeah. Leg 4, maybe. Ball now. Yeah, I'm gonna put K Dogger in timeout too, just because like he doesn't really say anything positive. He almost always is critical. So he's probably another one of those guys just sitting around trying to criticize, you know. There's only a couple, but they're just negative. You don't know why, like, you know. You're gonna be banned too, sir. Scammer in the chat right now. Never join anybody's crypto, whatever they're saying, giveaway. You know. I'll put it this way. Anybody that's got to go to somebody else's stream in the chat and try to plug their own thing, you know. Maybe they're just small creators. I shouldn't judge it too much. Well, some type of coin pump, he said. I don't know. I just got to ban him as soon as I see it. Probably so, Rhombus. That's probably true. All right, guys. Bitcoin at 111. 111, 200. Aquafina, crypto. Listen. You know, they did a fake Doritos one too. They're like, John, listen. I get an email and I'm like, and the email's like, listen, this is the head of Doritos. We want to sponsor your trading stream, John. And I'm like, Doritos, bro. Like, at least make it realistic. Like, Aquafina. Who's going to buy water or Doritos from me? Okay? Nobody. Nobody in here is like, you know what? Let me not go to Walmart. I want to buy water and Doritos from John, beginner trading. Let's do that now. You know? What a ridiculous premise. Like, whoever came up with that scam has got to be like a 70 IQ person. Because ridiculous. Just ridiculous, you know? And if anybody falls for that, that's even worse. But nacho cheese, John. Yeah, listen. I like nacho cheese just as good as everybody else. But I'm not going to buy the chips from some random YouTuber. Okay? Nobody is. It's a ridiculous premise. Fiji water? Yeah. Listen, Fiji or nothing else. That's right. Yeah, we got FOMC speaking later. I don't know how much it's going to move markets. I really don't. I don't know how much it's going to move markets. Yeah, 37 is actually a level, but yeah, Frito-Lay. Yeah, but my point is, whoever heads the Doritos, they pretended to be Doritos. I don't know. They didn't say Frito-Lay. They said Doritos, you know, which just shows, yeah, that's probably even worse. You could sell hats? Yeah, I could. Yeah, somewhere along the line. So again, I'm just hanging out, guys. We're waiting for the opening bell. We got 30-something minutes until the opening bell. We're sitting tight waiting here. Somewhere along the line, my phone started sending me ads for what's called a drone flute. You know, and the guy sits there and plays it, and it's like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. It's like a I can't even describe it. Like a drone flute. I guess it kind of sounds like this song right now. And so I told my daughter I'm going to buy this flute. It's like $50. And every morning that I wake her up, I'm going to walk in there and I'm just going to play this flute. You know, and she's going to hate me. I still got to order it. I got to order it. It's going to come in. I'm going to order it once I get back home. I'm in Michigan right now, so I can't really do that, but I'm American. I'm from Louisiana. Right, exactly, Jason B. Exactly. Yeah, I think it's incredibly coincidental that the flute song plays as soon as I'm talking about the drone flute. He also sells an ocarina, so the Zelda lover in me kind of wants to buy the ocarina. You know, maybe I'll get a horse that runs up to me. If you understand that joke, you're cooler. But no, we're at 23.45s. NASDAQ. Gold up there at 33.34s. Yeah, go Tigers. Yes, sir, Jamie. That's right. Still sideways here, but look at this red candle. Let me see if we got any breaking news coming out right now. UAE energy minister says they're committed to attaining planned production capacity of 5 million barrels per day by 2027. 1&1 says there's neither takeover in place nor is the company involved in any takeover processes. Requirement for removal of stocks outlined when the guide have not been met. No, that's not really going to move things. Market's very sideways right now. Kind of boring. Not really doing much. An ocarina? This dude's selling like some type of rubber ocarina. I don't know how much for. I'm pretty sure if you want a business idea pawn, I'm pretty sure the guy selling them is printing them from a 3D printer. So I'm pretty sure he's printing them from a 3D printer. Q. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't done it yet. I'm pretty sure he's printing them from a 3D printer and then selling them for like 50 bucks a piece, which might be a good business idea. You know, maybe you guys will get an ad from me one day playing a ocarina, telling you to buy it for $50. Seems like a good business idea. I'm pretty sure he's just 3D printing instruments. There's a couple different feeds I check for breaking news. A lot of the time I just check X as well, x.com. But again, Ferrero is going to buy WK Kellogg Company, representing an estimated value of $3.1 billion. The deal is expected to close in the second half of this year. Yeah, AMD got upgraded today. It's running up too. Which question? Yeah, I don't see your question, poetry person. Tesla back over 300. Yeah, Tesla's up to 301s right now. What's your opinion of the tariffs? Tariffs. I understand the need for tariffs. The question you have to ask, is it the time for tariffs, right? And again, I think it's very subjective. I'm not really going to get too deep into politics. But what I will say is that there's some good things about them, and there's obviously some risks to them right now. I think we need to be incredibly careful not to spike inflation. And like the worrisome thing that I have is the copper tariffs. Copper is in everything. super high copper prices obviously going to get passed on to everybody else. And that's what I'm worried about. But at the same time, there's also some uses for the tariffs. But the question is, are they too aggressive right now? And I don't know. Again, it's political. I'm not really going to get into it. You can trade just futures on Top Step. There's no stocks. It's just futures. But you can trade S&P 500 futures, NASDAQ futures, gold futures, commodity futures. But it's just futures. It's not stocks. And again, if you want to check out Top Step, guys, link is pinned at the top of the chat. Great way to help support the channel. No PDT rule in futures. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, gold, some currencies. No PDT rule. They give you a 50K demo, 100K demo. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose what you pay for. The base one's $50 a month. It's not the end of the world if you fail it. So it's just a great way to learn. You can see it pinned at the top of the chat. You can see it in the description as well. But again, most day traders lose money. They're an affiliate or sponsor of mine. I'm biased. Gold. Gold up to 33, 36. Gold is spiking right now. Look at this. Wow. Russian Federation C-Bank weekly reserves came in at 690.6 billion. Previous was 687. Yeah, look at gold spike. The NASDAQ just spiked up as well. We're at 2360s. 2360s. I mean, you can try as many times as you want to pass it, but it's $50. All right, so we're up to 2360s here. Look at that rejection at 2360s. Tesla moving up. This is what's driving markets up. Tesla almost up to 302s right now for Tesla. Almost 302s. Effective federal funds rate unchanged at 4.33%. So Tesla is up on Grok integration change. Nothing to the fact that Elon has done anything, but Tesla's up on the Grok integration change. So recent posts on X suggest that Tesla stock movement could be tied to broader market dynamics like AI, but it's also on the Grok upgrade. See Tesla in the bottom right chart is currently at 302.40s, 302.40s. What's up, Juan? Dude, I like Tesla stock, dude. I think Tesla's a cool company. I think the cars are cool. I cover all the major Tesla events. I stream Tesla earnings. I streamed the Cybertruck debut. I streamed the Cybercab debut. You know, we stream all the stuff. But yeah, I don't like Tesla. Yeah. All right, look at that 2360 level. Now, and again, I'm joking when I say I don't like Tesla. I like Tesla as a company. I think Elon's a little too political, but that doesn't really influence me on Tesla too much. I'm short Tesla. I'm not shorting Tesla for sure, especially not down here. There's too much risk shorting Tesla down here. Tesla's already pulled back pretty substantially. Um, if anything, I thought it was cheap. If anything, during this whole craziness that went on, I was talking to my wife about it, and you know, my wife is holding some Tesla too in one of her like retirement accounts or something. Uh, and during this big dip, when it dipped all the way down to $200 a share, uh, she was getting pressure by the bank to sell Tesla. The bank was like, "Hey, we need to sell Tesla. We need to sell Tesla." And she came up to me and she asked me, she was like, "Hey, what do you think I should do?" And of course, I told her the same thing. I have no idea what Tesla's going to do. But if it was me, I'd buy more down here because it's incredibly extended on the downside. I don't think Tesla's going to fail. I see Teslas everywhere. It's also more of a tech company versus a car company anyway. And so I think Tesla's going to be fine, especially with the rise of AI. And then sure enough, Tesla's up, what, 50% from where that was. And so I like Tesla as a company. I think there's risks, of course, like any stock, but I like Tesla as a company. I'm not telling you to buy it, though. Not an investment professional. You know, Tesla could crash tomorrow for all I know. But I like Tesla as a company. They'll all be back for the robots. Yeah, baby. I'm not sure. Hey, thank you, Molecular. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you're short from Tesla highs, that's probably a pretty good short right now. I'm not one of those people that get mad at shorts either. You know, you got some people that get mad at shorts. They don't like shorts. They get mad at longs. They don't like longs. I'm not really mad at anybody. If you can make money, make money. I'm not mad at it. I can't really get upset if somebody's making money because I would do it too if I could, you know. She didn't do anything. She just left her current position. She didn't sell. She didn't add like I wanted her to, but she didn't sell either at the bottom, which is good. And now the bank that told her to do it's kind of crickets now, you know. uh, all right, so the former Brazil president Bolsonaro may reportedly request the president cancel Brazil tariffs, according to CNN Brazil. And so look, we're bouncing back up at 23.5s. I think with how well the levels I draw work, once I get home, I'm gonna start scaling up my size massively. I think just based off of like I've been watching my levels really closely on this trip. I've been trading a little bit less, of course, but I've been watching them closely, and they work. You know, I mean, the market respects the levels, so put one right here too. And so I'm, you know, I mean, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about this rejection here, this bounce. I'm talking about this rejection, this bounce here. You know. That's right, Nathan. That's what I'm doing. Tesla earnings. Yeah, Tesla earnings coming out later too. Later this month. All the big earnings do. I do stocks, but most of the time with stocks, it's a little bit more, a little less on stocks for sure. Yeah, look at Tesla. Like I definitely draw levels on stocks, but not as often. Right, exactly, Ryan. Find a niche that works for you. rinse and repeat. Who cares if it's long or short? Exactly. That's how I feel. All right, look at Nvidia come back down too. Hmm. We got the 200 EMA and 2350 below us, so we got a lot of support underneath us here. Yeah. Yeah, but dude, I don't know what happened here, but some of these orders fills are just not good. All right, so we're hitting the 200 EMA. See if we bounce right here. It's possible we do. It's also possible we keep dipping down here. All right, so we're testing the 200 exponential right now. It's a pretty big milestone level, but this red is kind of deep. We're retracing a solid amount back up, but it's a huge retracement back up here too. Wow. We're filling the gap on the downside here. All right, so the market's starting to come back down towards the opening bell. Let's see if it holds. I don't really see any big news coming out. I see Tesla dip back down, but Tesla looks like it wants to come back higher too. Still breaking down. Trying to see if there's any deep red catalyst. U.S. ends taxpayer subsidization of some education for migrants. Again, we got the news that Bolsonaro could ask the president to reverse the Brazilian tariffs. We got 15 minutes into the opening bell chat. 15. Look at this big green candle here. Wow. Right back up to that 200 EMA here. I don't know. The big green candle. A lot of it probably depends on Tesla. Gold is also still pushing higher. It's at 33.40 or so, just under 33.40. No, you're good, molecular. I understand. Yeah, I mean, this is a big green candle for sure. This is one of the largest green candles we've seen this morning, at least in the last few hours. Maybe if we dip down to 30.50, 23.50, I might buy that dip, but it's a big green candle. Depends on what we think NVIDIA is going to make a retest up here, though. That 2360 level still above us, too. Germany's considering the option to purchase 3 additional F-127, including 8 AEGIS systems, according to Reuters. Yeah, I'm watching 2360. I'm trying to wait until the opening bell. We got 13 minutes here, chat. So I'm just going to wait till the opening bell, I think. Again, if we get a dip to 2305, I'll buy it, but I gotta wait for it. I slept for 14 hours last night. I feel worse when I sleep that long. My sweet spot, honestly, and they say if you get less than 7, it's bad, but like my sweet spot is honestly like I would say like 6.8 hours. Like slightly under 7 hours. I feel better if I wake up with slightly under 7 hours. If I sleep over 8 hours, I usually feel worse when I get up. I'm tired. Different sleep cycle, I guess. But all right, we're up to 2360. Up to almost 2360. Watch NVIDIA. NVIDIA is getting close to that all-time high. And if it breaks it at the opening bell, it'll be more valid. So I think what we could see is another run at the opening bell and then a dip, but you never know. NVIDIA's getting very close. Looks like NVIDIA's going to make a test at all-time highs. now. We'll see though. It's getting close. Nvidia's up there, chat. It's getting very close. Look at Nvidia. Nvidia's right there, about to break all-time highs. We have about 10 minutes into the opening bell. Nvidia's right there. Nvidia just tapped it. I think it's got to break, right? It's got to break. Maybe not, but it literally just tapped all-time highs again. Look, here's Nvidia's all-time highs right here. 164.59. It tapped it once. Didn't quite break it though. It's trying. All right, so the Brazil finance minister, Haddad, says U.S. tariff decision political, not economically rational. Even the previous 10% tariffs made no sense as the U.S. runs a trade surplus with Brazil. The 50% tariff is unsustainable. Does not think it will remain in place, end quote. How are you staying up for 36 hours though, Sam? Get some sleep, bro. All right, Nasdaq's running, leading up into the all-time high break for Nvidia and Tesla. Tesla not all-time highs, but Tesla's up, and Nvidia's testing all-time highs here. All right, so the Chile mining minister says more copper shipments have been going to the U.S. for some time now. Bro, there's been a. I mean, I haven't slept for 24 hours a couple different periods, a couple different times in my life, and I distinctly remember them. There's no worse feeling than not getting enough sleep and being slow and groggy. Your body's like, hey, you need to sleep, go to bed. All right, we're at 165s, 165s for Nvidia, just under 164.60. Not 165s, sorry. We are up to 210s. Aquafina water, yeah, maybe. All right, guys. Ooh. That was my first big stretch of the day. Any stock you regret not having bought in the past? Carvana. Yeah, I'm mad I didn't buy Carvana too. I remember Carvana was at like $6. And everybody was like, oh, Carvana's going to fail. It's going to go bankrupt. Shorts got hyper involved. And then Carvana just made a massive, crazy run. So I'm mad I didn't buy Carvana too. Yeah, well, Carvana just you know, got involved with shorts, and then the shorts squeezed as it ripped higher and higher, you know. All right, Nvidia just broke all-time highs by 1 cent. Got up to 164.60 new all-time highs for Nvidia. 164.60 new all-time highs for Nvidia. Again, heading into the opening bell, if you haven't already, check out TopStat. Beautiful way to help support the channel. No PDT in futures. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, gold, currencies in some places. Patterns are very similar, and you can use the same type of level system, and you know, you can get started for $50. You pass the test, you get a 50K funded account, 90% split. It's the best way to learn how to day trade, in my opinion. But I'm biased because they pay me money. But if you want to check it out, link is pinned at the top of the chat. Again, I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. And yeah. My sister ordered a car from Carvana. From what I saw, looked like a horrible deal. My issue is this with Carvana, okay? They're like, oh, we'll deliver it to you. It's like, yeah, but I don't feel like paying $4 grand extra for a car just because you could deliver it to me. I don't care how easy you make it. You know, I'll do the paperwork if I save $4 grand on it. You know? Like, I think people just don't feel like leaving their house. They're like, oh, it gets delivered, but I'm paying way too much money for it. But maybe it's a good deal. I've also heard some people that said they got some good deals from it as well. And the trade-ins are terrible. I heard that too. Yeah. They're like, hey, we'll make it really easy for you. You know, we'll pay you 50% under list. Deliver it to you. And then make you pay 20% more than it's worth because of that. But it's going to be easy. You know, it's like, yeah, I bet it is going to be easy. Anyways, Tesla falling down. Tesla just hit $300 a share. Meanwhile, Nvidia just broke all-time highs again. Got up to 164.84s here. 164.84s. Coinbase CEO says it has partnered with Perplexity AI systems. Again, Coinbase CEO saying they're partnering with Perplexity. NASDAQ, S&P running. Look at the market fall here. Interesting. Anto CEO says copper continues to be in relatively short supply, supporting prices beyond short-term volatility as well. All right, here goes the opening bell, chat. Good luck. Nvidia with a big dip here. What happened? What made Nvidia pull back like this? Coinbase CEO partnering with Perplexity. Chile minister says copper shipments have been going to the U.S. for some time. I don't see anything. Could be oh, I know what it was. It's the market on open is what this is. Okay, never mind. The Russian deputy foreign minister says BRICS is not anti-American, end quote. All right, here's the opening bell. All right, so we got pullbacks at the opening bell here. Look at this, 164s for NVIDIA. Apple at 210s. Tesla trying to get up there. Tesla at 302s. Nasdaq's ripping on this too. Look at this. Apple up, Tesla up, NVIDIA down. AMD's moving up a little bit too. Look at this huge move right now. Wow. Maybe it's not a huge move, but that's a big retracement too. That's why I don't trade the opening bell. Yeah, you might be right, Lighthouse. I mean, I'm not against Carvana. I was just kind of making a joke. Honestly, I think Carvana is probably how a lot of companies are going to do it in the future. If anything, we also might see car dealerships start to kind of phase out too, like conventional ones. AMD up to 144s. NVIDIA falling down. Tesla moving up. Tesla at 305s this morning at the open. Look at AMD rip, and AMD is what might help drive this market. How long are we? We're only 1 minute into the bell here. You know what I don't like about, like, I see all these people that are talking to me that I can't see. Like, YouTube automatically does it in top chat instead of live chat. Like, I'd rather see everybody that speaks. So, like, V, for some reason, it hid your comments. I'm not sure why. All right, look at this red showing up. We're a couple minutes in. I gotta wait to trade. I'm not allowed to trade right now. Look at this red. Wow. Deep red. We're still falling pretty quickly here. All right, we bounced at this 30.25 level here. A quick fade into the open. Is it time for profit taking, or what do you guys think is going to happen here? Are we freezing? There you go. It's a pretty big fall at the opening bell here. All right, we retraced a little bit. Let's see if we come back higher. All right, guys. So we're gonna get ready to trade. We hit 330.25s here. I'm in Michigan right now. All right, we're gonna maybe trade some here. Kind of thinking about buying this dip. Tesla's still pushing higher. We'll try. We'll see if Nvidia starts to catch some wings here. We already got a small cushion on the day. We got 2 micros. Yeesh. It's a big drop. Let's see if 25 holds real quick. I'm gonna cut half right there just to keep it small. Because we retrace fast. Although we got a bounce here. I'm gonna take one and then add to it if it goes into the green is what I'm gonna look for. Tesla still looks like it's heading higher, but Nvidia looks like it doesn't want to. All right, we cut it. Flat mostly. We got it basically flat. I'm watching Nvidia very closely and AMD. AMD's looking weak. It's one of these things. I'm gonna jump right back in here. Yep. Nice. And we took half off there. Closer we get down to this bottom level, the less I like it. Yeah, we gotta cut it. We're basically flat on the day right now, so we're just kind of going back and forth. If we find some support, I'll buy this, but we got to get kind of away from this 23.25 level. Although AMD does look a little bit better here. I'm going to start buying this now. Just because AMD and Tesla are flying up. There we go. Took some off there. Nice. I'm going to cut it up there. All right, so we're green since the opening bell. We're not very green, but we're slightly green. Look at AMD look better, and Nvidia has a green upward move. Tesla's still running. 308 at the open. Trade and chop though. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes is very, very flat. The EU Code of Practice to help firms with AI rules will focus on copyright and safety, according to European Commission, cited by Reuters. This is a very, very choppy open chat. Mine was frozen for a little while, but mine's working now. Gotta just refresh. Oh man, I just refreshed on the back end. And it froze. Yep. What? Yeah, mine's frozen too. I had it working for a while. We'll just wait for it, cover the opening bell here. Look at AMD run back up here. AMD's getting higher. Nvidia is basically choppy. Tesla's up to 306 right now, though. Yeah, I can't control it. You might be able to trade. Let me see if we can trade. I'm gonna switch to a combine account. Let's see if I can like buy. Okay, so you can trade. The charts are just out. All right. Well. Yeah. So this is just the charts. All right, we're green. And now we're red. I'm gonna add to this. Give it a second, but this is a challenge account, by the way. I'm not gonna trade a funded account like this with no charts. But I'm watching kind of the NASDAQ here. Dip. I'm kind of buying this dip though. Kind of looking to buy into this pullback here because some microchips are looking stronger. Here we go. Yep. Nice. Nice. All right, so we're still slightly red on this challenge account on the day. I'm taking some size here in this challenge account. How am I getting bad fills here? I was up like $100. Okay, so the price isn't really holding is what's going on. There we go. Trying to add to the pullback and take some risk here in a funded account, just to, or a challenge account. NASDAQ is so choppy right now. I wonder what Nvidia is doing. Let's take a risk here. Nice. The market is just sideways right now, man. I'm looking at the NASDAQ here. Look at this thing. It's not really doing anything. Looks red now. I'm gonna just start cutting. And now it's back up. Yeah, it's so flat. Well, again, if your charts are down on TOS or on Top Step X, you should still be able to trade if you look up other charts. Grizzly short on Pony AI. They'll probably, if it affected you crypto, they'll probably refund you. But you never know, but probably. All right, nasdaq just broke lows of the day. I think the lows of the day. At least close to the lows of the day. We're at 23,000. We're still kind of trading here. We're using the right side for charts. I'm doing my best here, but kind of having to add the losers. It's a challenge account, so. How am I still red here? What am I? How much do I have to make to not be red in this account? I'm green on my funded account, but red on this one somehow. How in the heck am I not red? They're green now. Okay, I'm flat. Let's say. Been buying this dip here in the NASDAQ. You can see on the middle right chart. I'll put it a little bit larger here. Looking to catch a rebound here. We got 23,000 right underneath us, so I just thought we'd probably rebound back up. Your chart came back. Let me refresh. See if mine comes back. I think this is a trading view problem. Probably. Mine are still down. Oh, here they go. All right, mine are back up. All right, NASDAQ's dumping down quickly here. Look, here's 23,000. I'm going to buy deep, heavy into this. Crazy. Kind of take some risk. Just because 23,000 is a big level. I'm going to give it a chance to bounce back up, though. Right at 23K. Man, we just slammed under 23,000. Luckily, this is a challenge account. I still think we're going to get a bounce around here, though. We could try, but... Again, this is a challenge account. I don't take this much risk on a funded account just because it's crazy to take that much risk on a funded account. This seems catalyst driven as well, though. Let me make sure nothing's going on in the market. I don't see any news. Looks like it's just profit taking. All right, I'm gonna take a piece of this off just to protect. All right, there we go. There we go. This is the move I wanted the whole time. All right, we're now green here, so we did make money on that trade, although it was kind of crazy trade. I thought we would bounce back eventually into this deep red. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, guys, like the issues were probably trading view. Probably. Yeah, I don't see anything online either. How much am I up? How much did I make on that trade? Okay, we're green. That's good. I took a little trade here. Like, look. We're up really nicely on this thing. Alright, we got out. Look at that, 23,000. I'm trying to buy this dip at 23K. I don't want to see it slam back underneath this. I want to see it hold support at 23,000. It's testing it now. This is not what I want to see. I'm already up 2,000 on this challenge account too, so I'm not going to hold this deep as it keeps falling. We'll wait on the rest, I think. I think this is more likely to dump now. Yeah. So we are dumping down here. Look at the NASDAQ. They kind of retrace though. Tesla coming back down. See what happens here. That's a big green candle. I'm looking for news. We do have some Fed speakers coming out later. I think in about 6 minutes, but I'm not really going to stream them. They're not big enough, to be honest, to have an influence. There we go. Getting more red showing up. Let's watch AMD and Nvidia here. Here's Tesla. Yep. Still looking weak here. All right, let's see if we break lows again. We're very close. Look at Nvidia fall down. Nvidia's breaking, crashing down here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a big NASDAQ dip. Look at Nvidia tap lows, breaking lows. Look at Nvidia here. Wow. Nvidia looking incredibly weak right now. Nvidia flushing down here quickly. It's at 162s. All right, guys, I'm probably just gonna cut out of here. I'm on vacation right now, you know, and so I'm gonna enjoy the you know, a little bit while we're here still. Give me a follow at Beginner Trades on x.com. We cover all the breaking news live as it happens. Again, you can check out Top Step if you want to help support the channel. Great way to help support us. Check out at Beginner Trades. Hey, I love you all. You'll have a great day. Nvidia is still breaking lows here, crashing down. I'm slightly green on my funded account. I'm slightly down. I think I'm down like 200 on my actual challenge account. And so y'all be safe. Y'all be good. Interesting day. And have a great day. We'll see you guys next time. Good luck.